Besides, the sound produced by the music box aren't Morse code. How so? They're not. To anyone with my brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to the box for even a few seconds. Of course, of course. Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code. Ouch, he looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance. I would be more than happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir. A lesson? Here in court? Morse code is a continuous series of two distinct tones. Tones, you say? Yes, a short dot and a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters. I see. For example, this is A, and this is B. But when you listen to the sound produced by the box, you only hear one tone, don't you? But it sounds similar. The rhythm of it's the same in everything. There's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code. No! Really, you shouldn't be so surprised. What did I tell you? The music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in future. Stop. Nothing to say, but stop. Oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Iris? I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked using a music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely. Would there still be something we haven't considered? Would it really be impossible to use this box to somehow play back Morse code? Give it a try. There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of government secrets. That's the belief of the defense at least. Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend, to repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum? It's already been established that to be Morse code, two tones are required, dots and dashes. Yes, I'm aware of that. Then what? Well, it would appear the defense has a hypothesis to put forward. You had better present your idea at once, counsel. How do you propose that this music box, which appears to produce only a single tone, could be used to cipher secret messages into Morse code? Alright, let's see if we can open it up again and then we can point to it. Ding! Alright, so I was right. The second side is for the dashes or dots or whichever one the other one isn't for. So now...
Got it!
Good gracious, what am I looking at here? Another movement on the underside of the music box? What? Brayden's not laughing. It appears, my lord, that there are two movements that are linked together. So the other disc might have actually been in the music box already, waiting. I think it was, and that's why the box was moved. It was in the underside. He had to pick it up to take the disc out and put it back, and that's why he didn't need the box, because everyone involved in this conspiracy should have a box like that. Right? Otherwise, it's useless. This isn't the only box like this. There must be others like it. But he wanted the disc. He didn't want the box, because he's already got one himself. So you can put two discs in the music box, and the sound of both will play back at the same time. Good heavens! As the court has heard, Morse code compromises of two tones, a short dot and a long dash. With a second disc in place, this music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message. This is beyond a joke. I'm sorry? This poor excuse for a lawyer has absolutely no evidence to support his claims. Though of course, if my learned friend were able to present the court with a second disc, that would be another matter. Well, I can't at the moment. And may I remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one on the omnibus with McGilded 2 months ago striking a deal over the disc or discs. Indeed, that was Mr. Mason the brickmaker. Exactly, I had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Though it has holes, I must admit the arguments presented by the defence has much promise. I believe a cross-examination should continue. So a link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be there somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. Oh dear, it looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Runo. You will reiterate your testimony if you please, Mr. Graydon. If I must, though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination. It was a low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded. Thing is, though, he could have been his go-between. 2 months ago in that omnibus, McGilded killed the brickmaker and stole the disc. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. It seems he lived in as an artisan quarter some years ago, but people there remember little about him. That doesn't make much sense, though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information? How indeed? There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes in all of this, someone who acquired the disc and gave it to Mason, in order to take it to a meeting with McGilded and negotiate a deal. Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you, I have far more class than that. An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter and his well-to-do communication officer. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together. If you have nothing more to add on that note, let us return to the witness's testimony. Look, all we've done is break in the gaff the other night like he told us to do. Like Mr. Graydon, like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean? That's it, yeah. Who else, eh? Silly me, though. Silly me thought he was just popping over for a natter after all them years. But the rotter had a dodgy job for us, after all them years, so they knew him anyway, for a while. Eh, Ash? Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, you say? Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours? We're the sociable kind of baddies, you know. Sure, let's say Graydon's an old china. Yeah, the other guy's got something to add, so we'll come back to him. Enough. Why don't you baddies desist with the fiction? Obviously, I don't know these men from Adam. Now, for the last time, stop trying to implicate me in your sordid thievery. Well, that's blooming nice, isn't it? You little turncoat. Fine, if that's how you want it. Two can play that game. We ain't never heard of this geezer before either. We don't know him from Adam. What? Never spoke to him before in my life, never seen him. Never, Nash, never. Good grief, such a blatant lie will not stand in my courtroom. Well, well, all I'll say is this. If we'd known there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it. Hold it! So, did you know nothing about the music box? We didn't know nothing, we still don't know nothing. We ain't planned on knowing nothing about it either. But 2 nights ago you did indeed break into Winterbank's pawnbrokery, didn't you? In your original testimony you said the door of the shop was ajar and that it was like some kind of sign beckoning to you, begging you to go in. But the truth is you were planning to break into Winterbank's all along, weren't you? We were, Gov, we were. You're right there. Because that's what he told us to do. It was his plan. And why was it that Mr. Graydon's plan to break into Winterbank's that night? Did you not ask the reason? Well, he said the place was full of stuff worth nicking. That's what he told us beforehand anyway. Turned out it was a load of old cobblers, didn't it? I weren't best pleased, I can tell you. In any case, if they know a real reason, it doesn't sound like they're going to give it away. But we're going to have to press the second to last statement again, and then pursue when the little brother decides to react to it. All of a sudden we seem to be up to our necks in a serious matter of national security, although all this talk about interception of secret government messages is still just conjecture at this stage. It would explain a number of things though, wouldn't it? The negotiation Ginny overheard in the omnibus 2 months ago and the break-in at Winterbanks. The trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus with Mr. McGilded. No, that was Mr. Mason the brickmaker who was so horribly murdered. If only there was a link between the two men somehow. I know, but Mr. Graydon's testimony seems to be as watertight as ever. I wonder if the key to us making headway with the cross-examination here could be those two brothers. It's going to turn out that Mason is their brother. I bet Mason is their long-lost third older brother. And that's how they all know each other. Hold it! That's going to be so cool. Alright. Alright, so he denies it, as always. After all them years, he says. But do we know him? Graydon's an old China. Yes, he's considering something about that statement, so let's push it. Excuse me! Is something wrong, Mr. Skulkin? Hey? No, the other one. The other Mr. Skulkin. What? Oh, me? When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react. Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a right old laugh together back when, way back when. Together with Mr. Graydon, you mean? Yeah, with Ash. I mean, you look at him now and his fancy whistle and flute, and you wouldn't even wouldn't Adam and Eve it. But when he was younger, he was from the poor part of town just like us. Is that so? But he was always a leery one. He had the brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas, like what would never have gone through our heads. God blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton and Skulkin's milk run? That was a corker, eh? Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in the courtroom. And neither does your fruit. Oi, the geezer asked us a question, didn't he? And we was answering. Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong. God, I love these two guys. They're brilliant. Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you on your trip down memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please? I don't know, could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? Add it to the testimony. Yeah, the fruits are innocent, that's it. My lord? Yes, counsel? The brother's last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to the case. Very well, counsel. I will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add. Say no more, Skulkin's a Sulkin's never skulkin. There we go. So the Milverton and Skulkin milk run. God, them were the days. Hold it! I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business? Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters. A bit of fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to the locals. That's what it was all about. Sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. I suppose since we're here I should ask them to elaborate, but on what? Ask them to elaborate on the business name. So this business was just a bit of fun, you say, and it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved? Yeah, that's it. Milverton and Skulkin's milk run, was it? Yeah, that's it. And where did the Milverton part come from? Oh, right, forgot. I thought clever clogs like you would have worked that out. Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen to this drivel? I bet he changed his name. Let me guess you don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying. Tell me, why is it that it was only the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject? Because well... It weren't the happiest of homes that he came from. Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much, his wife walked out on him. She took the name Graydon then, see? The Ash will always be a Milverton to us. Oh ho! So, that used to be your surname, did it? Of course not. This is all bunkum. I've been a Graydon since I was born. Do you really think you can rely on the testimony of these two thieves, You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It will be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena the records, Mr. Graydon. Ah! Well, it would appear that Mr. and Mr. Skulkin's testimony has been reliable for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Is that correct? Very well, yes. So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things, and could turn out to be extremely important. The personal record has been updated. The knife that we found in the brickmaker, by the way, had an M on it that everybody thought was for Magnus McGilded. What if it was M for Milverton? All of a sudden, we seem to be up to our necks in a serious matter of national security. Blah 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 blah. Explains a number of things, the negotiation overheard on the omnibus and the breaking at Winterbanks. We need to link Ashley Milverton now with the thrice-fired brickmaker, Mr. Mason. Thing is though, that was a very fine knife. I doubt very much that really fine knife would have belonged to the Milverton family name if they were always desperate for money. What have we got in our evidence? We need to start presenting stuff now to bust this wide open. Has this been updated? No, it hasn't. It's still Ashley Graydon. Oh, there it is! Yes! Okay, there it is. The description was updated though. Oh, was it? Okay, cool. The name wasn't though, but yeah. So look at that there. Details of the victim. This is from the omnibus murder. This is, these are Susato's case notes. Since she had to go back to Japan because her dad's ill, and she's not going to be here for us, that's why Iris is helping us. She gave us the case notes on the omnibus murder when we figured out it would probably be linked in some way because it all revolved around Magnus McGilded. So the details of the victim, the name is Mason Milverton. That was his father. Probably. Or at least an older brother. I have no relation to the man. Okay, this is what we need to press then. We need to present it here, because he's claiming to have no relationship to the man. Objection. So we can show him he does now. Mr. Ashley Milverton, tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court? Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me. No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. Explain yourself, please, Counsel. V, what's up, dude? How's it going? Taunting him using his former name. I know, right? We're mean like that. How's it going, V? Nice to see you. Have you managed to work out your own connection problems? How's that going? I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand to have been negotiating with McGilded. Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker? That's right. Only Mason wasn't his surname at all, it was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. Milverton? Do you mean to say, saints alive? Mr. Ashley Milverton is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, is your father? Which connection issue narrow it down? When you said that you'd fed some cable through to another room, like when you moved everything around, have you managed to work out like your own connection stability after that? Because you were telling me last time that you were having a lot of problems since then. Pappy? It is, it's Pappy. It's his pat-pat. I don't know. As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you joined the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records. You've got the 3060 Ti and 0 network losses now. Nice! I'm glad to hear it. That's awesome. The truth is, you've been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it on to McGilded in collaboration with your father. Ah! Ah! The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth. The truth, you say? That was a pirouette, yeah. Even when he freaks out, he does it gracefully. But you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus McGilded. By dint of this musical box, you mean, Counsel? Yes, stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme using the 2 music box discs to encode information, as presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands. And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever. But the deal with McGilded went sour and the brickmaker met his end. Yes, but before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of a stolen disc at the pawnbroker. Then, having learned of the situation, you appeared at Winterbank's 2 days ago in an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed in pawn there. But that attempt failed. One of the discs was seized by the police, the other was never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover a second disc. Are you suggesting the second disc was inside the music box? Eh? We never knew nothing about that. On the night that Mr. Winterbank was killed, the disc box moved in sometime in the 2-hour space. The intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item, and one item alone, the music box. I also found out only now that anyone trying to export Twitch VODs to YouTube, the service is seemingly down as many people are reporting it on Twitter. Oh dear. Well, that's no good. I guess I won't be exporting the last couple of videos that I haven't uploaded yet, but well, as long as they fix it, you know, they'll get it fixed quickly. You're finally done with Beast Tribes. Nice, Urena. Good stuff. GG. As rather ingeniously demonstrating using the 2 prints from the security camera indeed. But the question naturally begs answering is this: why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious because it contained the second disc which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny all of this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago? Now uploading 20 GB worth of 3 videos in an attempt to keep up to date. Oh man, good luck. I refuse to accept any of this nonsense. Did you see his jacket then? He's got a blood stain on his jacket! He's been grabbing that arm so much he's opened his wound. Sir, your blood is showing. There appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket. What? Ah! 2 nights ago, we know 3 shots were fired in the scene of the crime at Winterbank's pawnbrokery. 1 took the life of the pawnbroker himself. 1 struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes's waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? Hey, he's got you now, me old China. Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon. Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember, and I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly, I was a fool to think I could trust some common backslum thieves. Fine, I admit it. I was there in Winterbanks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me, and as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. Yeah, all the spins and shoulder shimmies. Yeah, the dude, he doesn't sit still very long. He's fidgety. But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Selling government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGilded. As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort. He's not going to go down without a fight, not until I can show hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact, which is, well, we know that 1 bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms we have in evidence. A bullet from the Skulking Brothers gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes's waist. They did confess to having shot at Mr. Sholmes, so we know that 1 bullet discharged from this gun was there. We know that the pawnbroker's gun only had 1 bullet in it anyway, and that has been discharged too. And the bullet fired from Mr. Winterbank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon in the arm, because the assertion has been that since Gina Lestrade had it on her in the locked room with Mr. Winterbank, she was the one that shot him, because no one else could have possibly done it. But now, we've brought this all around to show, actually, there was another person there who could have shot a gun as well. Because we've got 1 bullet in a wall, 1 in Sholmes's pouch, and 1 in the back of the pawnbroker, and only 2 guns responsible for 1 bullet each. So there's 1 missing. Indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself. Professor Plum in the library with the candlestick. Yes. God, I loved Cluedo when I was a kid. I was good at that game. I was so good at Cluedo. That leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Winterbank was shot by a 3rd gun, and we know that Graydon has a gun. He pulled one on us the day before, which could only have been fired by a 3rd intruder. Goodness. That's right, Mr. Graydon. Ugh. The only person who could possibly have shot Mr. Winterbank that night is you. You little rotter, you. Hold it! Hold it! Oh, here we go. Cluedo's easy when you rig the stack, Matt. I know. You little upstart. You've made a grave mistake when you summoned me here. What? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, as you rightly say, I was there at the pawnbroker's. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I'd built for myself in a communication station. But did the thought ever cross your mind? Did you ever consider the possibility? What do you mean? What thought? What possibility? The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see, this makes me a key witness in the case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client. He doesn't, though. He doesn't, because, you know, the question of who shot him, well, he couldn't have shot himself, and we know that the Skulkin brothers have already confessed to having shot Sholmes when we came in to see what was going on. So that means that he was shot by the pawnbroker's gun. It's the only other explanation. That he's a suspect. Not a witness. Yes, exactly. Are you suggesting? I saw it all. I saw the very moment that the pickpocket girl pointed the gun at the poor defenseless pawnbroker and shot him. You what? I really hope he tries to make the case that she fired the gun twice. Because then we've got him. Order! Order! Well, it would seem we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial. Mr. Graydon. Yes? I trust you're fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer. Oh, I understand fully. And I must ask you to give a formal testimony at once. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim. Nothing would give me greater pleasure. You do play some interesting stuff I'd never heard or even looked for, lol. I try, yeah. That's my thing. I love finding games that are just different somehow, you know? I really do. And these games, the Ace Attorney games, are great. You know, I would say definitely go get the original Ace Attorney HD trilogy on Steam. The Phoenix Wright ones. Because they're good. They're really good. You know, the story in it builds over the course of 3 games, each one with like 5 or 6 cases in each. They're really good. They're very well made. The stories link together. Lots of things that start to hang in the air where you're thinking, these are mysterious things going on. Towards the end, everything just comes together in this final trial. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite stories in video game. And I say that as a man who has played Deus Ex games, The Witcher games, you know, all these big RPGs with fantastic stories, well crafted, the Mass Effect series and so on. I would put it up there with them in terms of storytelling and story writing. You just have to look past the jankiness of how things just seem to fly fast and loose in the court sometime, where you're like, come on, why is this a complication? You know, and sometimes the mechanics are a little bit finicky, you know, where it's like, you know what you need to prove, but you don't know what you need to put in front of them to match with what statement and say, these two things contradict each other. And sometimes you have to do it on a bluff because your character has decided, like Phoenix Wright decides to bluff. He's like, okay, I'm going to risk it all. I have no evidence, but maybe I can shake something loose. And you're like, okay, cool, what is it? And then he's like, okay, Your Honor, I'm ready to present evidence. And I'm like, wait, what? What evidence? Clue me in too, dude. I don't know what you're thinking. You know, it does happen. Still haven't updated the game you gave away when you were watching... Why, what? The one you were watching porn on? What game was that? I was watching porn on a game? What? No, surely not. No, come on, no. 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 What game did you win off me again? It was a while ago now, and I've kind of forgotten. Watching porn on it. Feels weird when people say Your Honor and I hear my name. Your Honor, Your Honor, Your Honor. What? While the ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Winterbank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see through the peephole through the door. The accused in a black coat shot the man back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood splatter all over the wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. What? Well, she was found with a gun. The big titty Japanese game? Oh, you're talking about when I was playing Yakuza. Right, yes. Yeah, when you guys were making me watch the webcam fucking stuff, you forced me to do it. You all forced me to do that. I remember now. I remember being peer pressured and bullied. Peephole, not glory hole, right? Yeah. It was a webcam thing. You were in a chat room and it got weird. It did get weird, yeah, and I remember you guys telling me to do it. That was your idea, not mine. Sure we did. Forced, sure, you did. Peer pressure. Y'all said to me, if you don't do this, we're going to unsub from your channel. And I was like, no! And I did it. I remember it distinctly. Good gracious, this is quite extraordinary testimony. Yeah, and it's fucking fanciful as well. You claim, sir, under oath, to have clearly seen the defendant pull the trigger. Order! Order! It wasn't my intention to testify it in this way. But neither is it my intention to be found guilty of a murder I didn't commit. So you see, my hand has been forced. I tell the truth now, as an act of self-preservation. Let's say for even one moment it was our idea. It wasn't our idea for the reason for your cam was bopping up and down from that desk knocking. Shush you. Okay, I have a nervous habit where my foot taps. Okay, a lot, and it shakes the desk. You know when your knee's going? That's all that is. Don't you try to make something out of that. I believe everyone else I'm with have seen what you do to horses. That could be taken severely out of context. Okay. We're talking about kinky webcam stuff, and now you're saying about what I do with horses? No. 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 It's not happening. There's no. It was an earthquake. It was, yes. That's what happened at the time. Or a train went past my house and it shook everything. There was no train line there, but for some reason a train went down the street. That's why everything shook, 'cause there was no train line. Yeah. The truth? Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details. Yes, well, sorry about that. Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused. And as I said, I was showered in his blood. You say the blood splattered over the accused's coat. Are you sure on that point? Oh yes, quite sure. All over the black overcoat the pickpocket girl was wearing at the time. Really? If her coat could somehow be shown to harbour vestiges of blood, that would be conclusive evidence here. It does have blood on it, but it has Mason's blood on it. Such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord. What? Only very recently a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. So here's to true science, not some amateurish detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry. There's nothing dubious about Hurley's work. His ideas are all sound. Ideas are no use to us here. In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand. In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as a basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used. With your lordship's permission, we could shatter all vestiges of doubt within minutes. Good, let's test all the blood samples then, please. Let's do that, and we'll test that dickhead's coat as well. Because we have lots of blood samples that we've tested as well, with our own stuff, to see whose is different. This doesn't look good, Runo. Why not? Well, we know, don't we, that there's blood all over the front of Ginny's coat. If they test it with their chemicals... Oh, help, you're right. I was forgetting what happened yesterday. Yes, but when you tested it with yours, it came the same as Mason's blood. Germany, science number 1! It's not happening now, it happened then. It didn't even happen then. There was no happening then. Nothing happened then. It's lies. Lies and slander. Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot. Oof. Look, it comes up purple, watch. Same colour as Thrice-Fired Brickmaker's blood residue did on the pawn ticket. But that's not Mr. Winterbank's blood. That stain is from 2 months ago. That's Mr. Mason's blood, from when he was stabbed by McGilded, who was wearing the coat at the time. My lord, the defence objects to the test proposed by the prosecution. Overruled. Lord Van Zykes, make it so at once. With pleasure, my lord. And while we wait for the results, the defence may proceed with a cross-examination. Once they find blood on the overcoat, Gina will be... Counsel! Yes, my lord. Your cross-examination. Of course, my lord. This cross-examination doesn't go well. If I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence or a really compelling clue now, I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. Thing is, again, if they can distinguish different people's bloods, and he says that that was Mr. Winterbank's blood that's all over the coat, they could test his, test the ones on the coat and see they're different people's. Surely. So, while they were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance of the shop. Doing what? Admiring the view? Mr. Winterbank emerged from the storeroom, I believe. Ringo and Nash were scouring the counter when he suddenly appeared and flew at them. He already had a revolver in his hands. Fortunately, I wasn't too close. I've never been so scared in all my life. Yeah, we're just your regular mild-mannered burglars, that's all. We don't like violence. Says the pair who carry a gun and shot a man. What do you mean when you say you were near the entrance to the shop? I was in the doorway, running my eyes over the shelves of forfeited items. Looking for the music box, of course. The broker went for Nash in the first place. Then Ringo joined in, making it 2 against 1, so I assumed they could handle the situation. But I was wrong. I was trying to help my little bruv, but the old geezer chucked me over the blooming counter. Though I pulled my gun on the old fella, and that soon made him scarper. The pair of you setting upon a poor defenceless pawnbroker together, shame on you. Sorry, Gov. When Winterbank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. So he's saying that that gun discharged then and shot him. Right, okay. Hold it! You mean that's the moment you were shot? Yes, though I didn't immediately realise what had happened, of course. Things crashed to the floor from the counter as 3 men were brawling. It was at exactly that moment that it happened that I... Hang on, let me start that again. It was at exactly that moment that it happened, so I didn't hear the gunshot. And the bullet went on to strike the calendar in the wall behind you. So it would appear. When I looked at my arm, I saw it was bleeding badly, so I wrapped my handkerchief around it. Seeing as I couldn't explain what had happened to a doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal. I didn't imagine it would still be bleeding 2 days later. Did Mr. Winterbank intend to shoot you, do you think? Well now, I don't imagine he even noticed I was there, to be honest. Perhaps the gun went off accidentally. Anyway, it didn't quite strike home. When I pulled my gun on him, he tried to shove me out of the way. And then he scarpered through the door out the back. At which point, what did you two do? Pursued the man, but he shut himself inside a storeroom and he could see through the peephole through the door. You mean you chased after him? I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop. And what about the peephole in the door you mentioned? Well, unsurprisingly, the storeroom door is a solid job made of stout wood. But there's a small opening in it about the head height that lets you see what's in there from the outside. Actually, I should know that, shouldn't I? I looked through it myself that night. That's when we saw Gina lying there with the gun in her hand. And what about your burgling brothers? Did you see what went on through this peephole as well? Not likely, Gov. We didn't see nothing of the sort, Gov. I doubt these two buffoons were even aware of the peephole's existence. So the Skulking brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Winterbank take place? Inside the storeroom, I could see the broker and the young girl standing there. The defendant? Yes, though neither of them noticed I was looking. The girl raised her gun and pointed it straight at the man. And then, what did you see next? The accused, in a black coat, shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. Hold it! So he's saying that she just happened to have her own gun. And she used that. When the crime was discovered, the defendant was found with a gun in her hand. But that was Mr. Winterbank's gun, from which only a single bullet had been fired. And as we've already established, Mr. Graydon, that bullet was fired at you. Ah, but no, it wasn't the broker's gun that the pickpocket girl had when I saw her. Yes, the bullet from Winterbank's gun grazed my arm, and yes, the Skulkins got grounded the detective. But this was another gun entirely, a third gun. The broker's gun was not the murder weapon, so clearly there had to be a third firearm involved. In other words, the accused must have had her own gun with her at the time. But no other gun was found at the scene. Calm yourself, counsel. Sorry. You must consider the events in order. At first, I saw the broker and the girl glancing at each other, but then all of a sudden, the broker turned to run. And it was at that moment, the little gutter rat shot him in the back. A chilling image, I must say. Can we just slap him? Maybe some robot will help him to stop being such an a-hole? Yeah. Yeah, we need to do that. Some reboot, sorry, not robot, that makes more sense. Yeah, just, you know, give him a good whack round the head. A robot could help him as well. Robots can do a lot of things. Saw the blood splatter all over the wretched girl. All over her? Yes, through the peephole, I saw it clearly. Of course, the stains are invisible now, what with the coat being such a dark colour. But I assure you, that garment is sullied with the victim's blood. Well, it's sullied with blood, that is for sure. I mean, robots can do lots of things. But it's not Mr. Winterbank's blood, is it? No, that's right. It's Mr. Mason Milverton's blood from when McGilded stabbed him 2 months ago. It's so annoying. If they'd only accept Hurley's chemical analysis, we could prove that. But they won't. So unfortunately, we can't use it as evidence to support the case. Bother. Well, nuts. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole. I picked it up and made my escape. Did I hear you correctly? She threw the gun out of the room. That's right. After the broker fell to the floor, she started walking over. Over to where exactly? In the direction of the storeroom door, to where I was watching. Of course, I quickly retreated, and then the girl dropped the gun through the peephole into the floor on my side of the door. Why on earth would she do such a thing? I couldn't tell you. Perhaps she was hoping to distance herself from a murder weapon. Without thinking, I went and picked it up. I suppose I was worried about just leaving it there in case any more tragedies took place. I thought I'd just pick this gun up and remove it because it's dangerous. So it was you, in fact, who took the third gun from the crime scene. Yes, it was yours truly. I left the clear up to my lackeys and left. Clear up? We'd made a bit of a mess around the counter, so while Whistle and Flute here told us to tidy it up. He thinks he's our bloomin' mum sometimes. Oh yeah, it's his gun. It's the one he had. Absolutely. Heck it, I've treated myself to Pizza Hut. Nice, Freya. Freya, what do you have on your pizza? What toppings, what delightful toppings, tell us. Well, I was paying you enough, by God. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with a second disc in your jacket pocket?
You little toe rag!
Oh, damn. I think, what the hell? What is going on here? You're like a bull at the gate, aren't you? Alright, let's go through the whole conversation and then we'll come back and redo it for that. But I admit to nothing of the sort. After all, you can't even show the court such a disc exists, can you? As expected. He won't admit to anything unless I can thrust the evidence in his face. It's not as easy as you thought, is it, to pin a crime on this lapel? This one is coming from the restaurant you normally get the goat's cheese spinach stuffed crust. Ooh, nice. Classy. Haha, it won't stick. Not murder, not treason. Maybe not right now, but you won't sniggle like that forever. What's your feeling, Runo? As much as I hate to admit it, I don't see any obvious holes in the testimony at this moment. You have to find a way to break the man, and quickly too, because once they discover the blood on the overcoat Gina was wearing, it's a bit strange that he's so sure of himself about seeing blood splatters over Ginny's coat. It doesn't strike me as the sort of thing you'd claim if you hadn't genuinely seen it happen. But we know that Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winterbank, so what's going on? That's a good point, actually. Like, he wasn't present at the stabbing of Magnus McGilded, so how does he know that there was blood on the coat? All I know is it's very unfair. You like having the mini calzone on the edge of the actual pizza? Ooh, that's cool. Why should some German scientist's test be accepted as evidence when mine and Hurley's wasn't? Detectives can use test tubes too. Never mind that. I have to find a really stark inconsistency with the testimony somewhere. I have to find it before the prosecution discovers a bloodstain on Gina's coat. Alright. I'm going to press this one again, skip through.
Excuse me!
Oh, no, I caught the button that I shouldn't have caught while I was skipping. Is something wrong, Inspector? Inspector Gregson? I can't be here. I haven't got no time to stand around in the bloomin' stand. Oh. I need to get back to the yard. Who knows what's kicking off while I'm swanning around here? Are you referring to the emergency you've been talking about since yesterday? I haven't been talking about anything of the sort. That's top secret assignments, that is. That thing you're not allowed to talk about, it's top secret, is it? Says the detective at full volume in a courtroom with a public gallery. Well, well. Well, anyway, the point is, you need to get this trial over and done with as quickly as possible. Oh, damn it. Gotta do it again, because I buggered it up. I didn't mean to catch my D-pad and move across to Gregson while I'm spamming A. Alright, let's try again. Alright. Go, 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 go! Zoom! My D-pad is very sensitive, Irena. It's no joke. The slightest touch can set things moving in ways you don't want them to do. Very sensitive, yes. Alright. So did he leave with a second disc?
You little toe rag!
So now it seems that one of the Skulkin brothers is pissed. And Gregson there is just like, nope, nope, back off.
Excuse me!
Gentlemen. Something wrong, Sunshine? That should be my line. You do realize you were just violently shaking Mr. Skulkin? Blimey, this D's a bit of an hooligan, isn't he? What was going on just now? You saw him, he grabbed me whistle. Why the blazes, he said. Didn't you mention the third gun when you got down to the station? And why didn't you? 'Cause we didn't know nothing about it. Or that flaming peephole in the door. Sorry about that. I can be prone to losing my rag sometimes. Not hurt, are you? God blimey. See the way he's looking at me? I'm telling you, this D gives me the willies. Okay guys, you can stop talking about my D-pad now. The D-pad is fine. I haven't touched it in a while. Well, that was strange. The inspector doesn't normally get quite so worked up as that. He wouldn't normally grab somebody. No, that wasn't like Gregsy at all. He's normally all sweetness and light, no matter what I say to him. Well, with you, yes. I think you might be a special case, Iris. Well, anyway, that was definitely out of character. D-pad is fine, yes, it's... Oh, my lord! Oh no. Requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Explain yourself, officer. I have the results of a test that was ordered earlier, my lord. Ah, the blood. On the accused overcoat. Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I presume you have no objection, counsel? No, my lord. The D-pad is fine, but have you wiggled the knob lately? You don't need to with this game. There's no knob wiggling at all required to play this one. Well, there you have it. The report, please, Inspector. Yes, sir. Traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. From the extent of the stains, it would appear that they were the results of a splattering following a gunshot wound. End of report. Goodness me. I mean, the thing is, we've already established in this court that... Oh my god, here he goes. We've already established in this court that, during this trial, that coat was Magnus McGilded's coat, and it's already been accepted now that he did stab Thrice-Fired Mason. And then he had the coat removed because of the bloodstains that were on it. But you see, Matt, the court is always stupid. This is true. They've got the memory span of a housefly. See, what did I tell you? No, the blood on the coat is not Mr. Winterbank's. What on earth makes you say that, counsel? The coat originally belonged to Magnus McGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Winterbank's, McGilded had fatally stabbed Mr. Mason Milverton. So the blood on the overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case. Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my Nipponese friend? Sorry? 2 months ago in this very courtroom, did you not argue fervently for McGilded's innocence? And yet now that the man is dead, you brand him as a murderer. Your conduct shatters any shred of respect you may have earned for yourself in this country. But that was... I call it a bally disgrace. Treachery is what it is. How to determine whether the blood on the coat is 2 months old or not? Even a stereoscope couldn't help with the answer to that problem pop out. It can't be done. But... We used Mr. Sholmes as specialist. Mr. Sholmes is a detective, not a chemist. Why would you put such faith in a chemical formula devised by me, for example, when I'm a communications officer? I held out Piroski to starving boy and he ran away crying. What? Why does he even have wine at the court? I mean, it's fancy as heck and hot, but still, because he's the Reaper of the Bailey, he gets to do whatever he wants. I mean, look at this guy. Are you going to tell him he can't drink a glass of wine in court? I think not. Sherlock Sholmes is barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom. No weight at all. How could you say that? Victory is sweet indeed. This proves that my testimony is the whole truth from start to finish. How do you arrive at such a conclusion, sir? As the witness said, the accused's coat was splattered with blood of the victim. The only way Mr. Graydon could possibly have known the fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimony is solid and the conclusion is singular. It was the accused who shot the victim in this case. That is the whole truth. Ah! My lord! Been a long battle this one, but this old warhorse has something to say now, if you please. Mr. Foreman, as of this moment, sir, the squadron has reached its final decision. Ready, men? All for one now. Sir!
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Here we go again. Another summation examination. Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached a unanimous verdict. You can't drink wine in court. See, I've told him. Well, you see, V, he just took a sip, so he's not listening. The defense has constantly failed to unpick this witness's testimony. Here's to any attempt you may make at unpicking the juror's decisions being equally successful. I don't believe it. After I've come so far. How is it all unraveling on me so fast? How very distressing to be held in such low esteem. Fucking showed up. Oh my god! Wait a minute. Hang on, is this Sholmes in disguise? Please tell me this is Sholmes in disguise. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Officer? You've delivered the report now, that will be all, thank you. It occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruhodo, that scientific truths are determined not by science, but by none other than the human mind. I know that voice. That grating, irritating, cocksure voice. Am I going mad? Ah! Oh, you. Okay, you. Mr. Sholmes! What is the meaning of this? Oh my god, that's fantastic. Order! Order! What business do you have here, detective? The last I heard, you were recuperating in hospital. As well I would be, had I not been set upon by an errand. What errand? Hurley! Is it really you? You're awake at last! Oh, he's been awake since the middle of the fucking night! Because we saw a scene with Susato and him talking. Yes, good day, Iris. I appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies. Now, my lord, if you will humour me. Oh, in what manner, sir? He even flicked the frickin' copper's hat. I have something of great importance I wish to give to the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind as to spare us the time? What say you to this, Lord Van Zykes? This trial has taken many hours of the court's time, having spent so long already. Exactly, having spent so long already, we don't want to go wasting any more precious time. It's going to be the other music disc. As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny the defense a mere 5 minutes. My God, I love Van Zykes. He's great. He's not Edgeworth. I thought he'd be Edgeworth at first, but he's not. He's so different. It's a return ticket to Japan. It's like, dude, just get out of the country. Fuck off. You know, you're done here. Very well then, counsel. You have 5 minutes. My dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival. Mr. Sholmes, are you alright now? Alright. I'm all wrong. Sorry. I'm half left. What? I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man. I asked the judge for 5 minutes. But I fear even that may prove to be too much for me. Pray forgive me should I pass out. Let's make this discussion as short as possible. Hurley, this place is full of idiots. None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is. Ah well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of sport to assist myself in the investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community, an oversight on my part. Right, modesty, surely not? But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow. What is that? A lavender furoshiki wrapping? A leaving present from Miss Susato. From Miss Susato? If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her this favour. It's condoms. It's like, yeah, these were in the music box, by the way. Oh! I don't understand. Miss Susato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and underhanded. And that you, Mr. Naruhodo, fighting fairly as you are wont to do, would find yourself in considerable peril. At that very moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel. Those were the dear lady's instructions. A leaving present from Susato-san, whatever could it be? That's the thingy that makes cat flaps indoors that Iris made. What's this? Oh! It's the machine I made. Ah. And why, pray tell, do we need this? Other than to get an adorable cat again, of course. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention. What is that? I call it the cat flapper mat. It can make a cat flap for a little furry friends like Waggy in seconds. What's Susie up to? Miss Susato muttered the following words before she left. I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant. What? Didn't she say something like that? You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Sholmes? That night when you left Winterbanks in pursuit of the thieves, Miss Susato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose? That's your answer, dear fellow. Not at all cryptic, then. I know what it is, though. Hey, Blood Knight! How's it going? Susato-san used the cat flapper mat that night, but why? It has been entered into the court record. I know why. Your 5 minutes is over. We're out of time already? I'm okay, thank you very much. Glad to see you here. I'm grateful to you for affording us that brief recess, Mr. Reaper. I need no thanks, Detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really? The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider a summation examination. But at any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? The rest is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan? Fucking run! I'm back to burning the court down and fleeing the country. The rest is down to me. I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end badly. My lord, the defense requests... Oh my god. A further cross-examination? We didn't get to finish cross-examining, did we? But anyway, let me tell you my theory. Do we have the prints? Yes, we do. So, this cat flap-o-matic makes cat flaps, and it creates the hinge on the top look. Can't find anything in this place. Look, it cuts a flap with these teeth, and then this creates a hinge on the door. So it's made in seconds. There's even a spirit meter for it. So where do you think this was used that night? You see what I mean now, yeah. You see where I'm going with this. Those vicious teeth look like they could rip through almost anything. They're good, aren't they? They're made of a special alloy I just developed for this job. The cutter rotates 10 times per second, so it can get through any kind of door in no time. And what are the two parts at the top here? Ah, those are for attaching hinges to the section of a door that gets cut out. Right, of course. Nothing can match the machine for power. It can make mincemeat of even the toughest doors. It sounds so charming and friendly when you say it that for sure, but it feels like the reality of the cat flapper-mat is that there's a grim weapon of door destruction. Wagahai's so adorable, there's nothing I wouldn't do for him, even developing deadly weapons. Damn. So yeah. I did notice a thing. Do you guys remember when we were looking at these pictures and we were trying to find something between this one and this one that has changed? And eventually, as I flicked back and forward, the thumbnails showed that the stack of books moves. The one right at the very back. These here, they move ever so slightly, because if you look at where the red line is on the hem of the dress, on that doll, on this one, that's after the murder, and this one before the murder, the red line is further away from the countertop. So that's how we knew that things had been disturbed here and something else was going on. But I did say at the time, what is weird? Because we were trying to use this photo to show that there was another means of them shooting through the door, and it was the flap. Because we know it's there. At 1:30 AM, yeah. That's after we got there. Not there though on this one, is it? I did notice that. That wasn't there originally. The flap that people use to look through, and the one that our Mr. What's-his-face here, Mr. Graydon, says that he saw through during the time of the shooting couldn't possibly have been there. Because Susato used this to cut open a hole in the door and have a look through to see what was on the other side. The flap was not there originally, no. She used the cat flap maker. So there you go. I did think it weird that it was a flap that opens out into the shop, when surely it should have been on the other side of the door when you're in the door to open it out to look into the shop from the storeroom. You would have no reason in the shop to look into the storeroom, but every reason in the storeroom to look out into the shop, so that's where the handle would have been. It was weird. I never quite understood why it was that way around. Now I do. But the question is, what do we do about it? A cross-examination or a summation examination? I think a cross-examination first is what we need to do. Let's make a quick save. Yeah. But guys, I think there's a lot more to this case to come. So we're also going to leave it there for today on the cliffhanger.